Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen. This is Kimberly Knox. You're in KK's Big Kitchen. We're going to be doing a demo recipe from my cookbook, Simple Cooking for Vitality, right out of the spleen section. Why is the spleen section so important right now? We just hit late summer. Late summer energetically shifts at the Lionsgate time, August the 8th, all the way through the beginning of fall. So spleen, very high vibrating organ. It is section 12 of my book. And why does it get so unsettled? And that is primarily because of the standard American diet, so sweet. The sweets, the added sugars really disturb the spleen, which is has an immune function, also helps with the flow of fluid from the body. This tends to be the hottest, most humid times of the year. So we really need to nurture with natural sweets, not refined sugar. We talk about that all the time. So this delightful chicken recipe is going to be sweetened naturally with pears. I'm actually going to add an apple into. If you don't have pears, you can just use apples, fennel, and then delightful flavors of sage and rosemary. It's really easy because you bake it. This is a great recipe to do for groups of people and I've done it for like 30 to 40 people at luncheons. It's also a meal prep favorite of mine. I'm going to show you how to do that because I prefer it done as a chicken salad. So the only thing I'm not using are the air chilled organic thighs. I'm making a smaller portion for myself. I'm doing it in a smaller pan, and I'm just using 2 breasts. And I'm going to save one of them. I'm going to show you how to pound it out to use as grilled chicken strips that you can have available also for other things. So meal prep, you have just think about while you're cooking. So why do I do the air chilled chicken? Air chilled has been done in Europe for always. I mean, it just means that the chicken is chilled instead of chilled in dirty, gross, unfiltered water. And it also gives the chicken much better nutrients. It's not filled with a bunch of stuff. So we've got organic air chilled chicken. You can get that right at Whole Foods. Of course, if you can get a chicken right from an organic farm, even better. So we start with high vibrating nutrients. That is part of bioenergetic cooking because everything is energy. All right, so I am going to get on my apron and then we're gonna get rocking here. So first up, I'm just going to prepare the pan, and I keep this little pastry brush to apply coconut oil. I like the coconut oil. It is a very high smoke point, so it's excellent for greasing the pan. I do not like any spray oil. It does not matter. I don't use them. Very quick, very easy. Pan is prepared. Okay, so then I use some wax paper. I never put meat on my board. You can have a separate kind of sheet to put meat on. And I also keep a knife that I just use for meat. If I'm going to either open a package, I'm going to cut the breasts up just a little bit. So we want to just want to dry them off a little bit here. And I'm saving one breast because I'm going to pound it out in between sheets of parchment paper. Show you how we do that too. So I'm actually just going to cut these breasts in half to put in there. So let's just get them in the pan. We're going to add everything to one pan. This is a one pan operation. Fantastic. So what else are we putting in the pan? First of all, we're going to do a quick little marinade. Whenever you marinate meat, what it does is it breaks down the protein fibers. Meat, animal protein creates a lot of energy to digest and break down. If you do not have high stomach acid, that's why O blood types are better meat eaters naturally, and their systems are just generated to more acidic. You want high stomach acid. We lose stomach acid as we age. Other reasons, people taking acid blockers. So what you have is undigested meats, proteins, and fats. That's what will cause the onset of things like SIBO, small intestinal bacteria overgrowth, things like that, because they're not broken down properly. And you cannot get the nutrients from the meat. You're thinking about iron and B vitamins. You won't get them and absorb them if your small intestine and your whole acidic balance is not optimal. All right. So we're going to create a little bit of assistance here. And I usually don't measure a lot, but obviously I wrote a recipe here. So a couple tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 3 tablespoons of, I'm not measuring it. I'm just doing 2 to 3. Won't matter if it's a little bit off. Okay, so here is some of your, I do like the California olive branch, extra virgin, first cold press, and there we go. If you have a little whisk, perfect time to use it. And we're just gonna pour this over the chicken. I probably have a little bit too much because I am doing a smaller amount. It's fine. I can save this for something else. Okay, so now we put in the yummy stuff. If you don't have shallots, I only had one. I thought I had more. This is a shallot. And you know, it's a little shishi, right? You can use yellow onion. You won't wreck this recipe. So we just want the full ones in here, cut lengthwise. Because what we're gonna do is to turn this into chicken salad, we're just taking the entire cooked recipe, we're throwing it into our food processor. Super fun. You don't need any mayonnaise because the juices of this recipe make it divine. Now I have leftover onions and that were already kind of cut, so I'm just going to be adding those. And so the recipe we made the other day, yesterday, with the potatoes and all of the greens. So we can use that with the chicken salad. So you're constantly thinking about what you have. And this recipe, it's just wonderful because, you know, over make it for dinner and then you're going to have some for lunches for yourself. All right. So rough cut. They don't have to be chopped up. All right. So just kind of put that all over this. It's a super fun recipe. Now we're not going to use the entire thing of fennel. In fact, save this top part, some of it, for other salads. So let's just chop it off right about here. We'll keep these stalks for other recipes so we can store that. So this is the fennel bulb here. Fennel smells amazing. So it's going to add really a nice amount of richness. So this is the way I chop up the fennel. I just slice it at an angle on both sides. You take a sharp knife and just cut really, really thin slices back and forth. Nothing has to be perfect. This is baking all together. You're gonna have these beautiful pieces. So it's not just chicken that you have that's gonna be baked. Save these end pieces here. All right, let's get this on top. That's plenty. I'm gonna save some of these for something else. So toss these aside. Make sure you have these little prep bowls. Keep your board area nice and organized. Okay, organic apples and pears. All we're gonna do is we're just gonna add these. We're not peeling them. Just cut them right around the core. Make your life easy. That way you can snack on the core. So set that aside for yourself. Make these as slices. It's just gonna look really, really pretty when you're serving it. So we'll do 1 apple. And you get this tag off here. And we'll do 2 pears. These are really little. We used to have fresh pear trees on my grandmother's land. We had a lot of land growing up in Vermont. We just kind of took it for granted. We ran all over the place. Probably why I was good on the track team. Okay, so look at this, how beautiful this is. It's gonna all just cook together. Now, let's get the fresh herbs in there. Sage, really amazing with chicken. Fresh rosemary. Just smelling rosemary sets off really happy neurotransmitters in your brain. So that's kind of proven. You know, that's where the essential oils come into effect. So let's just get some of these in here. What I do is that I just pull it backward on the stalk and the pieces of the, it's like a branch, rosemary, pretty much, and then sage. I'm just gonna chop up some here. We don't need all of it. Just pull it off the stalks, and it's just gonna be rough cut. So kind of roll it and just cut through it here. Easy. So in seconds, you've got this whole thing that's gonna bake, and it's gonna taste amazing. I do not like foil touching the food, but I do like the parchment paper. Keeps everything nice and moist, because then we're gonna, oh shoot, I totally forgot. So actually we add the fruit. We add the fruit after. I haven't made this in a while. We add the fruit after it's cooked for a little while. So let's just take out, no worries, everybody, no worries here. Let's just take out the apples and the pears because they don't need to be overdone on the plate. They'll cook a little slower. Okay, everything else is in there. Cover it with the parchment paper and then loosely cover with the foil here. And we're gonna get this in the oven. While it's in the oven, we're gonna pound up the other chicken breast. And now if you were making this for a larger group, you'd be adding in a couple chicken breasts and a few of the thighs. So the thighs give it like this, a little darker meat, a little bit softer, a little juicier. It's a super blend. And all of these, oh my gosh, these flavors are just incredible. It's a great dish. So we'll be right back. Let's get this in the oven. Okay, here we go. Here's the fun part, right? I love pounding out the extra chicken breasts, having them ready. You can get out your anger, your kids can get out their frustration. Put it in between two pieces of parchment paper. Cover it with a towel. Just find this works the easiest. Now your hand will let you know where things are. There's two edges. I used the one with the knots. So I've had to crack out, oh my God, enough of these for like 30 people. This is a big job, but it's fun. So your kids can get involved in this. And all they do is, I've cooked this dish with families. When we get the boys pounding out the chicken breasts, it's a perfect job for them. So quickly, now the fibers of the protein, the meat, the chicken, the organic chicken, that doesn't have the conventional antibiotics and other. See how nice this is? So now this is ready. You can even stuff it, pre-stuff it. You can stuff it, freeze it. You can grill it up really quick and then have some grilled pieces. I am going to actually, I'm going to just wrap this and then put it in the freezer. Now, this is gonna thaw out much quicker than an entire breast, which is great. So now we have a breast that's ready to go. You can stuff it with mushrooms. You can stuff it with there's a recipe in there to stuff it with the dandelion green pesto, so fragrant, and the artichokes. It's delicious. Okay, so done, ready. Put this away. We've got these ready to put in. It's going to cook for 20 minutes and we'll be back. Okay, so we're prepping some things I'm going to be adding to the chicken salad. So once something is cooked, you're lacking the raw nutrients, the raw enzymes, all the phytonutrients, these things that get killed when you're cooking. So we're going to add back in some green onion that we have already in the jar store. We're going to chop up some fresh parsley. The only thing I'm missing is celery, which I usually put in there, but I juiced all of that. So let's just cut off some fresh parsley here. We'll get that into one of the bowls. Yeah, this is great. And then I'm going to add, these are apple juice, naturally sweetened dried cranberries. Aurora brand makes them. They're nice and big and juicy. They're not just with cane sugar. Okay, so cranberries, fantastic. If you have, I'm going to say, celery seed, you can put that in. I don't have that either. So we're just going to go with it. But celery obviously tastes really good. That's knife out here. We're just going to go through the parsley. So it's always good to have your fresh herbs on hand. And like I said, having a jar that you can store these in the fridge just helps. Makes the fridge look beautiful when you open it up as well. All right, so our little bowls, they're all ready to go. So everything looks nice and neat. And we'll be back when we're going to be adding the apples and the pears to the chicken recipe and move on. Okay, the house is smelling amazing, almost like Thanksgiving. Obviously, we're using some sage here. Great Thanksgiving Day scent. Okay, this is looking nice, very moist. You want your chicken moist. We're just going to be adding all of these to the top. I'm going to keep it covered for another at least 10 minutes, and then I'm going to uncover it at the end. Use your holders to get this back on. Since the pan is hot, we're going to put this back in the oven and cook it a little bit more. Okay, we just took it out. It smells absolutely amazing. Can you smell that? Incredible. So now you can just portion this out. This can feed at least 4 people because you don't need 1 whole breast per person. That is a lot. I am going to let it cool, and then I am going to put it into the food processor here. All you do is pulse it. You don't overdo it. Put it back into a dish, and then we're going to add all of this amazing other things, some walnuts, some cranberries, and it's going to be so good. I'm actually going to put a little bit on a plate. We're in a dish here. Use this one. And give this a try. I am pretty much, I'm more plant-based myself, but I do love this dish, so fragrant. And I'm going to show you how amazing. So when you're eating the chicken, it's not just like you're digging into a dry piece of chicken. This is going to be so moist. Here. You see how amazingly moist this is. And I don't think I didn't add any salt or pepper, so let's add a little bit, and we're going to give it a try here. And then I'm going to be chopping up some of the greens so that I have those ready to put with the others. So the chicken is so moist. So how did we do that? We created almost like a steam with the parchment paper and the foil. Just delicious. We've got some tangy. We've got all the herbs. And we've got the sweet of the cooked pears and apples. So it makes it really fun on the plate. And because your kids' palates are so overpowered with sweet today, that way more sweet than the body is even geared to handle. It's really nice to have some fresh fruit, and fresh fruit is a really great option for natural sweetness. So let's let this cool, then we're gonna make the chicken salad. I'm gonna eat. It was amazing. So all you do is just add, actually you can just pour it all in there. I don't want too much of the juice, but the juice is going to preclude you from having to add any mayonnaise. So there's going to be nothing processed in here. One day I'll make a vegan mayonnaise for you. Because the ones you buy in the store have stabilizers and just don't go there. Primal Kitchen, that one has eggs in it though. It's the avocado mayo. That's pretty clean. Okay, all you do is pulse it. Wow. Put the cover on. Now, keep your these little guys handy. You want it kind of chunky. You don't want it too much like baby food. So, tiny bit more, and we're good. See? Now, oh my gosh, amazing. So think about it. You've got baked pears and apples in this. So your kids are going to flip and love this because it is not like any other chicken salad. Now for you, it's broken down because how many people don't chew their food? Even me. So I mean, and I take extra HCl, hydrochloric acid with pepsin, and still, so this is looking fantastic, right? So let's get the green onions in there. Now we're adding life back into cooked ingredients, the walnuts, some, you don't have to, if you don't like this much red onion, I like red onion, so you can even add some shredded carrot in there if you want. What I'm missing is celery, and I do like celery in here. And then, so then we're gonna add in some cranberries. So there's no way your family will not love this because it's amazing. And instead of the cranberries, which I don't have, you can get organic grapes. Yes, you need organic grapes. Grapes are super dirty. If you look at the Dirty Dozen, they are the dirtiest of the herbicides, pesticides, which have carcinogens, cancer-causing agents. They've got endocrine disruptors and the gamma. And some of those chemicals, when they're combined, are even more strenuous on your cellular health. So yes, you need organic. All right, so now we're just mixing this up. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to eat this tomorrow. I had to get that down because I usually don't eat past 6 o'clock. My body just feels much better, sleeps much better. Sometimes I even cut it off earlier. Okay, so check that out. Oh my God, so amazing. So that butter leaf lettuce, that arugula, the spinach, give it a chop, and this will be perfect on it. Get some of those glass dishes with the tops, and now you've got prep. If you've got to go to work, prep it, and then you have it, because most people starve all day long. And then, so their body is nuts. They're eating crappy snacks. Their cortisol is going like this. If they're running off sugar, they have no energy, right? They're looking for caffeine and snacks. And then they get home and they eat so much, the body doesn't need the fuel at that point. It disrupts sleep, and then it causes more stored fat because you're putting in energy that you're not utilizing. I'm just going to add a little bit more cracked pepper to this, and we are done. Fabuloso. Woo woo. So if you like these videos, sign up. for my channel so you can get some notifications. Give me a little thumbs up if you thought it was fun. By all means, share it with anyone that you think will love it. And thanks for joining me in the kitchen.